What it do, snackers and snackettes? It's your boy Gage, under the weather Gage, not regular Gage, underwater Gage, underweather
Very,
Gage,
very under
underwater
the weather.
Gage, under breathing Gage. This is Snacking and Hanging, the Loaded Snacks podcast. This is episode 46. Usual suspects are in the building with me. Sin and New Joker. Speak to the people, gentlemen.
What's going on, everybody? What's popping?
What it do, everybody?
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
I like. That's what I like. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell, I'm a little under the weather. I haven't been feeling well the last few days, but you know, the show must go on. Work must get done. So the show's gonna go on and work's gonna get done. That being said, we had an action-packed last week/weekend, and we have a lot to discuss. A lot of things on the books. So we're gonna kind of do this in the order that they happened, sort of, I
Okay.
guess. So first things first, we're gonna talk about the Video Game Awards, which took place Thursday
Mm-hmm.
evening. Jeff Keighley once again put on a pretty solid show. I think that's a solid show 2 years running. Kind of kept it to the 2 hours. We've had,
Mm-hmm.
times in the past where it's run a bit long. And we've had times in the past where they try to do another play. It's been through a lot of transition from when it was televised on the Spike Awards and all that kind of stuff. So this was like streaming, like worldwide. They streamed it in VR. It was streaming in China. Like it was kind of a big deal. It was a lot going on. But they opened the show with a pre-show. So really the show was 2.5 hours, but technically it was 2 hour show. But it was a half-hour pre-show. Gave us a little information, a little background stuff in the beginning. And the way they open, we know the Game Awards is a big deal because it's about who's gonna get Game of the Year and
Right.
all that kind of stuff. But let's be real. We tune in because we know there's usually gonna be some kind of a trailer that we weren't expecting. You know what I mean?
Of course.
There's always some kind of a, some good information that comes from there. So, the awards themselves, kind of open pre-show. They gave us a new Zelda trailer. So Zelda Breath of the Wild, which we know is coming next year, supposedly for the Wii U and for the Switch. And we got a new trailer. You guys did see the trailer, right? I know you saw it, Sin. Did you see the new trailer for Zelda, New Joker?
I didn't peep the one for Zelda.
Okay.
Like, I'm just not a huge Zelda fan.
I mean,
but
it's fine. You were little when Zelda came out. It's okay.
yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll be real with you. I think you would like Zelda. I don't know. I mean, have you ever played a Zelda game?
Oh, I've definitely played. I'm definitely played them now.
Okay. This particular Zelda, I'm not sure this is the Zelda I want, but I can appreciate that it seems like they're trying to do some things differently and kind of get away from the same old mold that they've been stuck in essentially since like Ocarina of Time. It's basically been the exact same mold. It's looked a little different. They've given you different places to go, things like that. But like as far as the way the game works and what you do, it has pretty much been the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of the trailer, Sam?
I mean, I liked it. This Zelda is going the direction I actually wanted to go in. Like we've had this, world of Hyrule that really needs to be explored. I would say so. Opening up to kind of like a free roam type of thing, kind of go anywhere. See all these beautiful environments all put together. Kind of what seems to be seamlessly. I'm ready for it. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I don't know if I'm gonna get it on the Wii U. I'll probably get on the most likely on the Switch. You know what I mean? Like if it comes out as a release date, but I'm checking for it. It's on my radar. I like what I saw.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a launch title.
Yeah,
I don't not. I mean, it'll be in the launch window, which
but not that
is
day
always kind of
one.
tricky.
Right. Not when you go to get your
Yeah,
Switch. It'll be there on the shelf.
yeah. I mean, it's just something. It could be. I mean, it's the Switch is supposed to come in March, so I mean it could be, but I don't know. Something about it just makes me feel like this isn't gonna make it for that date. But and I'm not sure whether or not I haven't decided whether or not I think they're going to do two separate release dates, one for the Wii U and one for the Switch. I think what they're going to want to do is do a worldwide release all at one time so that there's not spoilers and things like that.
Right. Makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
What I will say about this trailer in particular is that in this trailer you get to see some new environments. You get to see some things happening in the world that we haven't seen in the Zelda in the previous Zelda trailers or in the gameplay footage that we've seen from E3. I mean, you got to remember that this was literally the only thing they had at E3.
Mm-hmm.
So, while there's a lot of footage of it, it's a lot of footage of the same thing. And so this trailer gave us, a little bit more. We got to see a bit of the world itself in action, kind of some of the places that we'll visit, NPCs walking around, just kind of doing daily things.
Mm-hmm.
It gives us a better insight into what some of that Hyrule you were talking about is going to be like, but it
Right.
also gave us a glimpse towards the end of the trailer where you see a female character shot from like the shoulders down walking. It's clearly a female. And then you see a shot of like her hip and her hand, and Link like kneeling behind her. And I think that it's Zelda. Now it could be Linkle, which is the female Link.
Mm-hmm.
But if you remember, when they first showed the original trailer, like two E3s ago, people were asking whether or not Link was a girl. And, Nintendo seemed to kind of brush it off. But I think there's a possibility they're going to make Zelda playable. And I think, because at the end of the trailer, after you see that, when you see him kneeling behind her, you actually see her clench her fist, which to me says she's ready for action. She's also, excuse me, not dressed the way you normally see the princess dressed in like the pink dress. She's dressed, it looks like more like he's dressed. Like she might be ready for some action. So
Sweet.
obviously, this is just guessing,
Right.
but I'm going out on a limb here and I'm making a prediction that Zelda is going to be playable. That they're going to give you the option to either choose between she and Link, or like, I don't know if it'll be you can swap whenever you want, or you pick one at the beginning of the game, or what, but I do think you're going to have the option to choose her. And maybe the game is a little bit different, a la Resident Evil, or
Mm-hmm.
even
Depending on who you pick.
Dishonored,
Right.
depending on who you pick, what their abilities are, how well they can last in certain places. Maybe she can swim better than him, or you know what I mean. It could be any number of things. But I think that would be really cool, and it certainly would add some different gameplay elements to it.
Yeah.
Maybe she can tackle dungeons differently, and I don't know. I feel like that's kind of important now. I think that Zelda as a game needs more. I think it just needs to make some transitions. There are things about Zelda I love, hook shots, boomerangs,
Right.
but
The staples.
truth be told, yeah, but it's this, but it still is the same thing over and over again.
It is.
Yes, you're solving different puzzles, but you know what I mean. It really is a lot of the same over and over again, and I just feel like it needs, something a little different. So
That's the problem I have with it too. A lot of
I'm
people like
hoping
to,
that's the case.
like a lot of people like to say, like Call of Duty's repetitive. Like certain games are repetitive, but they like to hold Zelda in its high esteem. Like Zelda's the same game every year with a new magical twist. Like that's like
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
have mask, 1 year you have a wand. Like, but it's exactly pretty much the same thing every single year. So hopefully with
yeah.
the
In
free,
terms of
like the openness of the world now and the stuff that we have seen, hopefully that's starting, like you said, starting to take change.
yeah, yeah, I'm hoping that's what we see. I think if they gave you the option to just choose in the beginning of the game if you were going to be Zelda or if you were going to be Link, nobody would pick Link.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean, like even if
I
they
can see that.
play exactly the same. And so I think that just kind of speaks to it. Like, well, we all respect Link, but come on, let's move on. Anyway, what else did you guys? What did you see at the show? Did you watch? You didn't watch the show, did you, New Joker?
Nah, I never got a chance to watch the whole show.
Okay. So, Sin, give me your impressions of the Game Awards show overall.
It was cool. I mean, I agree with what you said. Starting off like it was a good showing. Uh, I was very excited for that Mass Effect trailer they showed towards the end, and all the goodness that came
Yes,
with that.
indeed.
Yeah, that just got me way more
Yes,
amped.
indeed.
Well, not that I wasn't already amped, but yeah, not that one we saw at the for the Neo conference, a couple months ago. No, this one was exactly what we needed. So that
Yeah, I mean, tell everybody, give some details. Tell
I
everybody
mean,
what it was you saw and what you liked about it.
from the combat elements I was seeing, story obviously, but just that just the open everything seemed a lot more open, like in the combat sense, like that I was liking multiple levels, like vertical combat. I'm seeing, being up on high level, shooting down below, and just it was just a whole bunch that was going on. I actually need to sit down and watch that trailer again, like find it on YouTube and watch it and really look at it, because a lot was going on, a lot was going by real fast. We seen battles with big giant things and all sorts of stuff going on. But I am liking the concept of like you going out being this pathfinder and trying to like go to all these different worlds and explore all these different planets. You know what I'm saying? And like find your way. Like that looks like it's going to be a real cool gameplay element that I'm looking forward to. Like it looked cool the way they
Dig it.
presented it. Yeah, but I enjoyed the show. I did.
Cool. Let's do a rundown of some of the winners. Hey, did you that Bulletstorm? Do you remember Bulletstorm?
I played it and beat it. Yeah, I like Bulletstorm for what it was. A B movie science fiction
Yeah,
shooter.
yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
like yeah.
I thought it was interesting that they had People Can Fly on stage, which they made the game, but before it was under Epic, I
Right,
guess,
right.
and now this was announced as Gearbox, creators of Borderland. Randy Pitchford comes out, president of Gearbox comes out, and announces that Gearbox is now also getting into publishing. And the first game that's going to be published under the Gearbox title, under Gearbox, is going to be a new Bulletstorm. So when they first said that, I'm thinking, wow, they're actually doing like a sequel to Bulletstorm. No, they're not. They're remastering the same game
Mm-hmm.
and
Adding in
pulling
a
it
couple new
forward.
stuff, yeah.
Now, if you pre-order it, you get to play as Duke Nukem, which is interesting because I knew that Pitchford and Gearbox had purchased the Duke Nukem property and were interested in doing something with it. We just didn't know what. And I'm wondering whether or not they're trying to use this as a catalyst to determine whether or not it's worth it to actually do a new Duke Nukem game.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. I think that's kind of where it's probably going.
Yeah.
But here's the rundown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a rundown of the different categories and the one. I'm not going to do everything, but let's just kind of go, because there are some things that I found kind of interesting. Best esports. First of all, okay, let's start with this. Overwatch took four prizes. They were nominated, I think, more than that, but they took four. The biggest obviously being Game of the Year. So Overwatch got Game of the Year. They got Best Game Direction. They also got Best Esports title, which I find pretty interesting. I think that's. I mean, obviously, esports is becoming a really big thing. And they also got Best Multiplayer Game. So, I mean, that kind of, I guess, could go hand in hand. I mean, just because you're
Right.
multiplayer doesn't necessarily mean you're doing esports, but Best Multiplayer Game, which I think is interesting. And the reason why I say that is because the thing about Overwatch is, I think from the outside looking in, Overwatch is viewed as a competitive shooter. Counter-Strike Go kind of thing, whatever.
Hmm.
And I guess technically it is, obviously, with the whole esports thing going on.
Right.
But for me personally, when I think multiplayer, I don't necessarily think competitive multiplayer. I think co-op. And one of the things that's great about Overwatch, now that all of us have jumped on the bandwagon, is that you can play multiplayer with your friends or with other people against bots if you want to. You don't have to play against other people, and it's just as fun
Yes, it is.
to do it that way. So I think that's pretty cool, and I think that's interesting, and I think Overwatch is deserving of all of what it took. Um, Now, best narrative went to Uncharted 4. Have you played through that yet, Sin?
Okay.
I still got to get my hands on it. I want to bad, just
Okay,
just it is what it is this year. So it'll be one of my first
got you.
purchases next year. Yeah.
Now, Inside, one of my favorite games of the year, took best art direction, but also got best independent game. And I think that's one of the only other titles that got multiple awards. Um, Best music, oh no, because Doom got more than one. Best music and sound design went to Doom. Best action game went to Doom. So now I'm like, man, I need to pick Doom up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'll be honest.
I kept seeing it
I
get
wasn't really
nominated.
interested in
Then I'm
Doom.
like, am I missing? Am I
Yeah,
missing something
yeah.
here? Apparently, I am.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. Doom, the multiplayer beta to me was weak. I didn't like it. And when the game came out, there was a little bit of controversy because Bethesda basically used that game as a catalyst for this whole thing they're doing now, where they're like, we're not releasing review games anymore.
Right.
People who are reviewing the game are gonna get it maybe a day ahead of time, but we're not doing review games anymore. And they kind of use Doom for that. And traditionally, it's kind of seen as a lot of times if a game doesn't get review copies out early, the game's not good. And so when it was kind of announced or people realized, okay, the game is out, reviewers haven't gotten their copies or they just got their copies, man, this game might not be so good. And everybody loved it. Like everybody who played it loved it. So, it's not really, I shouldn't say Doom's not my thing, but it's kind of not my thing. But it's just kind of mindless action. Let's just go and shoot things and whatever. And like, I could probably kind of use some of that right now. So,
Feel you.
anyway, yeah, I think it's something I definitely want to jump into.
Just yeah.
Best performance went to Nolan North for Nathan Drake in Uncharted.
Hey.
Now that's an interesting category because he and the other two main characters from that game were all nominated. And he made a very poignant statement when he took his award because we've been going through this thing with the actors strike. And kind of the stuff that they've been dealing with video game designers and publishers and so forth. And he just said, hey, look, my performance as far as this category is concerned, like I appreciate it, but really I need to give a shout out to the performance of all of the programmers
Right.
and the coders and he said, at the end of the day, my performance doesn't exist without their performance. And I think that was just kind of important to realize that there needs to be, while I think that there are people taking sides and going, well, no, these actors need to get paid for what it is they do and what they go through and, what have you. At the same time, I think that there needs to be kind of a genuine, well, we can't do this or make this living or do this thing if these people don't, do what
True.
they
Yeah.
do.
It all works together. Yeah. It's all
Right.
like
Yeah.
I mean, everybody makes the project. Like the reason why Uncharted is so great because what everybody behind the scenes, not only the voice actors, put together. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Right. It's all
yeah.
of it.
Exactly. It's not just one person.
Right.
Now
And
I will
that kind
say
of be
he
go
does
ahead.
do as far as like him winning like the award. He does a phenomenal performance every time Uncharted comes out. Phenomenal.
I mean, Nolan North does an incredible performance every time he does anything, which is why he gets the amount of work he does.
I
Very
was about
true.
to say.
You know
Very
what I
true.
mean? Real talk. Um, yeah, I mean that kind of feeds into the same thing I feel about. There are people out there who are like, oh, my favorite actor is so and so. Yeah, but you don't really know how great of an actor they are or aren't because by the time you see whatever their performance is, it's been edited. You don't know how many times, and you don't know how many times a director made them redo a particular take.
Right.
You know what I mean? All
Before they
right, do
finally
it
got
this
it
way,
right.
but give me more
Yeah.
of this. Do it this way, but give me more of this. Okay, try it like this. Okay, shoot it from this angle. Let's do it like this. And then after you do all of those takes, then you get, you know, somebody who sits and puts, all right, well, this isn't going to make it. This is going to the cutting room floor, and this is going to the cutting room floor. And the final version of what you see isn't necessarily all of what you got just from the actor. It's not like watching somebody in a stage play.
Right.
So I think that that's very important to kind of consider. Anyway, best mobile and handheld went to Pokemon Go. They also
Yes, it
got
was.
best family game, which I found interesting. Um, and then games for impact. I do want to talk about this a little bit because that Dragon Cancer. Are you guys familiar with this game at all?
What game?
No, I'm assuming.
What game are you talking
I'm
about?
not.
Okay, nobody said anything. I'm
No,
like, wait.
I
Um,
okay.
what?
I was asking what game were you talking about?
It's called That Dragon Cancer.
Oh no, I know nothing about that. No, I
Right.
saw it
Okay.
win an award, but
So,
no. I think it's a PC game.
well, yeah. I mean, it's basically a game that this gentleman put together about his
Oh
son's
yeah, that one. Yeah,
battle
yeah,
with cancer.
Oh,
yeah.
I've heard of it. Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, I mean, people have been talking about it for quite a while now. I thought that it was a very good and strong moment for the Game Awards for him, and I think as a whole for games to be seen as something more than just we run around shooting things and blowing things up, and you know what I mean. Like Doom is
Right.
you know what I mean. Like I just thought that was kind of important. But best action adventure went to Dishonored 2.
Sweet.
Um, and best fighting game with the Street Fighter 5.
Of
I don't
course.
think there were any other fighting games. I mean, like Killer Instinct, I guess.
And King of the Fighters
Um,
that came out, over the summer in August. So
yeah,
that was
but
about it. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Um, now best strategy game with the Civilization 6. Best sports racing game. Now they put this in one category, and when you looked at the nominees, I was pretty sure it was like FIFA, 2K17, Forza Horizon 3. I was pretty sure that 2K17, NBA 2K17 was going to take it because they usually are considered by most people the best sports game around, period. So when Forza Horizon 3 took that, um, I was pretty amped about that because
Mm-hmm.
that game is awesome.
Yes, it is.
So I thought that was pretty cool. Um, for the most part, I mean, there's some other awards and things like that, but I mean, I guess that covers the gist of it. Overall, I thought it was cool. We did get to see some new trailers for some other games. We got this one game called like Dauntless, which looked like it might be pretty cool. But it looked like it was PC. Listen, for those listening who haven't figured it out yet, we don't really do a whole lot of PC gaming.
Not really.
It's not really. I mean, there was a time, I guess, when Sin was a heavy PC gamer.
Yeah, that
He
was a
was always
while ago.
yeah. I mean, always a console gamer, but
Right.
we don't really do that. Overall, though, I think that the Game Awards was pretty cool. I think it went well.
I did
Best
like the
soft,
opening to the wars though. With Hideo Kojima. How
yeah. I
he
was just
got
getting ready
that.
to get to that. I was getting ready to ask you
Okay.
guys, well, what you thought about the whole Icon Award thing for Hideo Kojima.
Hey, I was happy. Like I said, we all know
Yeah,
he got he got did wrong real bad last year. You know what I mean? And for them to give it to him and all his hard work he did, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, he deserved it. He deserved it.
yeah. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. I'm not exactly sure what it is that people see in Hideo Kojima. I know that might sound a little blasphemous, but this is a guy who's really responsible for one title, like one IP, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like it's Metal Gear and it's just Metal Gear. And I know people love Metal Gear. personally, I think the story is ridiculous. It's out of control. The game itself, though, is always good. The game itself, though, is always fun. You know what I mean? But like, is he an industry icon? Absolutely. Did he deserve the award? Sure. But I don't know. I don't know what it takes to really be considered a true industry icon when you really are only responsible for like one thing. And I know he's been trying to get away from that one thing for a number of years. And I think that him finally getting separated from Konami might be what we really needed to see whether or not all of these things that he's, touted for are really
Hmm.
bigger than the IP that he's tied to. Because Metal Gear is a huge IP. And
Mm-hmm.
in
He
terms
needs
of
to
the
bring
Metal
back.
Gear Solid franchise, obviously he's tied to that. But this Death Stranded thing, I'm gonna be real. I'm not on board. I'm not feeling it at all because it's ridiculous. It is the strangest, stupidest, most ridiculous thing that I've seen, and I have no idea what it is. And I'm not sure why people are so excited about it, other than the fact that his name is tied to it. Like, to be real with you, if in no way, shape, or form was his name tied to these two trailers that we have, do I feel like people would care at all? People would be like, "What is this crap? Why are they showing? Why are there whales flying in the sky? What is this oily substance doing? Whatever it's doing to the water?" And I feel like he's getting a pass because he's Kojima, and that for all of what he may have accomplished within the industry, for definitely what he went through very publicly with Konami, I definitely think that there's something to be said about that. Like, I have issues with that for sure. But I don't know as a whole what it is that the industry sees in Kojima. And if you could enlighten me, by all means do so. But I haven't
All I
seen it.
know is I know him from two IPs, which is Metal Gear, which has been great, and Zone of
Right?
Enders, which was great.
Zone of the
And
Enders.
and and
Mm-hmm.
I'm huge fans
I
of both of those
mean,
franchises, which he needs to bring back Zone of Enders. Real talk, because that joint was phenomenal. But I know
I
him from
mean,
those, and
Zone of the Enders was cool, but let's be honest. Most people only ever played Zone of the Enders because it had the demo
The
for Metal Gear
demo
on it.
for Metal Gear in there. Uh huh. That is true.
Not that it wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? But let's be real. Most people would never have even bothered with that joint. And that's kind of what my point is though. It's like it's not that Zone of the Enders wasn't good, because it was. I'm just saying that Zone of the Enders got purchased under the marketing of Metal Gear. Period. And most people have no idea what Zone of the Enders even is. Most people who consider themselves huge Metal Gear fans wouldn't touch a game like Zone of the Enders, generally speaking. So I would like to see him do something else. And Death Stranded right now looks like he's trying to do Metal Gear and PT. You know what I'm
I don't know
saying? Like
what Death
mixed in one
Stranding
thing,
is.
which I'm not so sure.
I'm just leaving it be until more information comes out. Just looking at the trailer, like, okay, cool.
Right. That
I'm just leaving a blank slate, and because I don't
yeah. I
understand.
mean,
I want answers, but whatever. I'm
yeah.
not diving too much into it until no time soon. Like, just
Yeah, because we got a long
exactly
ways out
like
before we even gonna
And
even
we're
see anything for
talking
it. I mean,
four or
I know
5 years.
me. I'm the different person here. So I like the weirdness, but like you said, had his name not have been tied to it, granted, Norman Reedus is in it, and the fact now we know
Guillermo
Mads
del Toro,
Mikkelsen is
Mads
in it,
Middleton, and Guillermo del Toro.
Toro. I mean, if I'd have just seen the three of them in it, it definitely absolutely would pique my interest either way.
hmm
Them dudes don't make
Um,
games. You know what I'm saying?
they don't, but
I don't like for real as a if you showed me a character that looked like anybody, it wasn't didn't look like Norman Reedus, but you told me Nolan North was acting in it, I'd be like, oh, okay, we might have something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care that Norman Reedus has anything to do with this game because the love that I have for Norman Reedus goes back to him being in Blade. I don't care about The
hmm
Walking Dead at all. And then it goes to Boondock Saints. That's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying with Norman Reedus. Most of the people who care about this because of Walking Dead, and this is not gonna have anything to do with Walking Dead.
not at
You know what I'm
all.
saying? Like I just, you know what I mean? Like I'm not, you know. not to belittle Norman Reedus or whatever. I'm just saying, like, Mads Mikkelsen, I don't even know. What does he do?
What does who do?
Mads
Which I was like,
Mikkelsen.
what you mean? Like what?
Like, what is
Hannibal.
he in?
Hannibal.
Hannibal. He's in Doctor
Yeah.
Strange too.
I mean, I know that, but
Yeah,
that's,
but
but
he's
that's,
also Hannibal. Yeah.
Played in Casino Royale, if you remember James Bond.
yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't care about that.
Okay.
I'm
No,
just saying, like, is he?
Hannibal's the one that it's like The Walking Dead for Norman Reedus is Hannibal for him.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and I guess you could say because he does a lot of movies overseas as well too.
right.
So there's a lot of things that I would say haven't obviously been released in America that he's done because he has a good amount of movies that are out.
I mean, I get it. I'm just looking for the pedestal. Like, I'm looking for the, oh my goodness, he's in this, so we need to play this game because he's in it. You understand what
Hannibal.
I'm saying? Like, I don't, you
Right.
know what I mean? Like, I guess my point is, it's a video game. So at the end of the day, telling me that you have like this particular actor acting in it doesn't necessarily. I don't know. I mean, I guess I go back to Kevin Spacey with the Call of Duty thing, or for real, Angela Bassett with the Rainbow Six Siege thing. What, what do they at the end of the day? What do they actually have to do with whether or not the game is good? You know what I'm saying? And
Nothing.
again, right now we just have trailers. So that's my point. I guess that's the point I'm getting at. It's just like right now, I understand that people are going kind of crazy over the whole Death Stranded thing. I understand that people want to see him move beyond Konami and what happened, and be excited for Kojima. I am too. I think he could do what he's doing without any of them being involved, and I think it would mean more if he was just like, nah, I'm doing these games and whatever. I do think that there's something to be said for the fact that you have these actors who seem to want to work with him specifically, because I assume they've seen his vision and you know what I mean, are on board.
And especially since
So
like three of them were tied on the Silent Hill thing together. You know what I mean? And that fell
yeah,
through, and now they're back all together working on another project. You know what I mean? So just like you said,
yeah,
it's something behind the scenes that we don't see. You know what I mean?
yeah. So now I'm waiting to see what that behind the scenes thing is. Um, hey, look. Anyway, look. Let's take a quick break because we got to come back and talk about the PlayStation experience. So why don't we do that real quick? Sound good?
Cool.
Sounds
All right,
good.
let's do it. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 46 of Snacking and Hanging, Low Snacks podcast. Gentlemen, let's talk about PlayStation experience. Actually, still happening, sort of, as we record this. But the
Pretty much, yeah.
main conference happened yesterday. Capcom Cup happened yesterday there as well. A lot of information kind of coming out of there. The conference itself was super duper game heavy. There were a lot of games
It was.
shown at this conference. Almost overwhelmingly so. But couple things that stood out, and I'm just gonna highlight them, and then we're gonna talk about them. So first and foremost, they opened the show with a new Uncharted trailer, which you don't necessarily know is. I knew it was Uncharted the moment I saw it. We'll get into that in a minute. But Uncharted: The Lost Legacy gameplay trailer opened. They closed the show with The Last of Us Part 2. And the thing that had been probably the most talked about rumor going into PlayStation Experience was Marvel vs. Capcom 4, which they did show and we will talk about, but I think we're going to save that for last. So, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Gentlemen, you guys both saw the gameplay trailer, correct?
Yep.
Not
Did
the
you
whole
see it?
thing, but I saw a little
Okay, I
bit
saw
of
the
it.
whole thing.
Okay. And you, what do you think?
I'm ready for it. I was
I'm
actually
about to say
boosted
it's
for it.
Okay.
it's Uncharted. You can't go wrong with
Yeah,
it.
and like and,
I mean,
making her the
again,
new
I'm
protagonist.
not a
Like,
fan, but
yeah, making her the new protagonist that psychs me. Like, all right, let's go.
yeah, what's her name? It's Claudia from the one girl from Uncharted 4. and I can't think of the girl's name, but from Uncharted 2
Hmm.
is the who appears to be the main character. Now I'm
Right.
not sure.
Oh, Chloe.
Yeah.
Chloe, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if this is DLC for Uncharted 4,
That's what I was
because a
trying to
lot of
figure out
people
as
were
well.
expecting them to announce the single player DLC for Uncharted 4, which didn't happen. And they announced this, but they didn't say this is a full fledged standalone $60 game. You know
Right.
what I mean? And that kind of leaves me. And here's the thing: initially, I thought, "Oh, this is a full on brand new game," because again, they've made it clear, Uncharted 4 was the last Nathan Drake
Right.
story. They ended that, so they're done with Nathan Drake. But certainly, I never expected them to just give up on Uncharted because it's too big of a franchise, too big of an
Right.
IP. So seeing this was kind of like, okay, cool. We get to see it from a different perspective. Somebody else who's hunting for treasure or whatever it is. That's kind of cool. Um, the it wasn't until I saw the Last of Us Part 2 trailer at the very end of the conference that I thought maybe this is just DLC, because that's crazy if they're developing two full games for these two huge IPs at the same time. You see what I'm saying?
I was just saying. Another thing I was
Hmm.
wondering, maybe they were working on this one the same time they were working on 4. That's why it took so long for 4 to come out.
Well, it's possible, but the other thing that was interesting to me is that if you remember with The Last of Us, the single player DLC wasn't about Joel. It was Ellie. It was like a separate story
Yeah.
where it wasn't, you know what I mean? And so this being the same, you know,
Hmm.
game, sorry, developer, like, oh, well, it could just be that this is a side story, but this appears like it still takes place during Uncharted 4 based on the time frame and who's in it. Um, so it seems like a side story that may tie into some things that are happening during Uncharted 4.
Right.
So it could be that it's a DLC. I would like to get some clarification on it.
I agree.
I'll be honest with you. I would be very surprised if this is a full-fledged standalone game. Very surprised. Like, I just don't think it doesn't make sense to me for them to do that. But it's weird because they did not announce it as like Uncharted 4, The Lost,
Right.
whatever. It was just Uncharted, The Lost
Right.
Legacy. So,
Word.
Now, for some stuff that I was reading, it says that it's going to be offered one as a part of the season pass with Uncharted 4,
right,
but you can also still get it separate.
right. Which, again, is kind of like what they did with Infamous.
Yep.
If
With
you
the
remember
first light.
Infamous,
Yeah. Well, that's what I was just about to say.
right.
Yep.
You could do that and you could play First Light and not have the Infamous. So, excuse me. Yeah, so I think that might also be kind of, the direction that it's going, that like maybe it does fill in some gaps or some plot holes or some things that are left over with Uncharted 4
Hmm.
if you haven't. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I just started replaying Uncharted 1.
Okay.
And that's hard because, man, it's old.
Yeah.
It's the remastered joints. But God, it's clunky, boy. And again, you gotta understand. Remember, I'm not a fan. I'm not a huge fan of Uncharted. Like when I played the first Uncharted when it first came out, I was just like, I don't really see what's. I mean, I'm not. This isn't doing it for me. I know a lot of people that's upsetting, but whatever. Nonetheless, so there's that, and then you get The Last of Us Part 2, which I think is really interesting. So there was a lot of speculation that The Last of Us 2 obviously was in works. There was some leak footage that came out of Ellie playing a guitar, which is pretty much what this entire trailer was. And so I guess that was dead on. But I think what's interesting about this is specifically the way the title is named. So The Last of Us, the fact that they're naming it literally The Last of Us Part 2 and not The Last of Us 2, I think is important for the namesake because they are continuing
Right.
this particular story with these characters. And Ellie looks like she's probably 19 or 20, something
Yeah,
like
she's a
that.
lot older.
So clearly a number of years have passed. There are a lot of dead bodies in this trailer. Dead human bodies, like regular people bodies. And at the end of the trailer, when Joel walks into the room and says, like, "Are you sure about this, kiddo?" or something like that, and she looks at him and is like, "I'm gonna kill every last one of them." I'm just like, "Oh, okay, it's about to be on. It's going down."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not gameplay or anything like that, but it's
No.
cool to kind of see what they're doing with it.
Yeah, I thought it was a
But
dope
it looked
trailer though. I thought
very.
it was a dope, powerful trailer. Yeah,
It
that joke was
was.
hitting.
I need that song on iTunes.
That joke was so good.
I was messing with it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just think that naming it part two is important because I think that for most people, The Last of Us like concluded. Like it ended and it felt good to end it where it was. And that the idea is sort of like a Walking Dead, which, this is kind of that same type of universe. It would be interesting to maybe get a couple of other characters or a different character and see what they were going through or what was happening with them
Mm-hmm.
in the same universe, possibly even during the same time frame as the original Last of Us.
Hmm.
So to get something that is very Godfather, it was very very Godfather in terms of the part two. Because when you look at that, it's kind of like Karate Kid Part Two was not Karate Kid 2. It was Karate Kid Part 2 because it literally picked up exactly where the first one
Right.
left off as if it was one long movie. So obviously there's a time gap here. There's a time jump, but maybe there's going to be some back and forth. It's
Yeah.
possible that you
Right.
could pick up
It
at a
starts off
point.
like where the first one ends, and then it does like a
Yeah.
like after the tutorial or
Jump,
whatever, it does
time
like
jump
a
in
couple
there
years
somewhere.
jump or something like that.
Yeah,
Very possible.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just thought that was real interesting. I thought that was cool. Now before we get into Marvel vs. Capcom, I just want to do a couple things. I want to shout a couple things out because I know there are some things that make certain people that might be on this podcast very excited. That got revealed during the show. I don't know, some crap about Japanese mafia or something.
Hallelujah! Let's go. Hey,
Yakuza
you
6.
know, I jumped out and screamed when I saw that.
I know you did. I know you did.
I
That
had
was one
to.
of those things when I saw it, I wished I could have been there with you.
Oh my gosh! Oh yes. I didn't even
So
need the trailer. Just the announcement that it is coming to the West was good enough
yeah,
for me.
yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
But
Because
talk
it's
to me about what is Yakuza Kiwami?
okay.
What the heck is that?
That is actually the HD remake of Part One.
That's what. Okay, that's what I thought. Like I
It's
saw
just
them
called.
showing like
They just called it that for whatever reason.
maybe the Kiwami is how they say HD in Japanese.
Probably. I gotta research that, but we'll go with that.
Maybe
for
it means remake.
Yeah, but that is it's already been out in Japan, so it was just a matter
Yeah,
of if we were ever going to get our hands on it. So we are.
yeah,
Thank God, I'm happy. I've already played through the first one when it originally came on the PlayStation, so I'm definitely buying this one and picking it
right.
back up. And I highly recommend anyone who is wondering why there are technically going to be like 7 or 8 of these, why it is so popular, why we beg for it to come over here every single year. Pick up this one, this Kazami or whatever it is when it comes out, and just play it. Don't say anything, just play it, and you will. I
Just
promise you, you
do it.
will understand. Yes,
Dig it.
because it succeeds
Okay.
at every year when they bring one out. At story, phenomenal, and the game is just pure fun. That's it.
Dig it. I
So,
mean, maybe. I played the first Yakuza when it first came out. It's just been a long time. I don't remember
so
Long
much
I
of it,
time.
but
recommend both of y'all to pick it up. And the trailer for 6, even though it got me amped, because I know the characters in the trailer wouldn't do nothing for nobody who's
not
knows nothing
already
about the series
involved.
yet. Yeah, for me and
Yeah,
Toy was like, oh, but everybody was like,
yeah.
okay, y'all really didn't need to show that. It was short and it was just say it's coming to the West, cool. But
Just tell us it's coming and leave it at that.
yeah, just tell us it's coming. Yeah, and it's coming. But
Uh,
hey, showing it love though, that did help. That did make me happy though. Showing us some love and the PlayStation experience.
I dig that. So they also did a couple things that they've been doing for a while now, which is like showing love to their lineage, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So, Wipeout Omega Collection. These are basically like HD remastered versions of Wipeout games.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I could care less.
You know what? When I
Um,
thought it was a new game, I was excited,
right,
but
until you realize that it was
yeah, it was
remasters.
just remasters. I'm like,
Yeah,
depending on how much it is, and then I catch
right.
it on sale, I probably get it because I'm a fan of Wipeout. Like, I have some fond memories of playing that on the PlayStation when I got one, but I'd rather have a new one.
It's cool, but it ain't no F-Zero. I'm gonna leave it at that. Uh,
Mm,
Crash Bandicoot remasters.
don't care.
Okay, again, I don't care. It just doesn't mean anything to me. Crash Bandicoot is probably the worst of the
Oh
mascots. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
no,
let's
it is
be honest.
not.
Okay, okay. So look, who's the worst? Who's the worst mascot? You having some trouble?
I don't
I'm gonna
know.
help you. Crash Bandicoot. He's the worst. Crash Bandicoot is worse. Now, don't get me wrong. There were other joints that came out that were kind of like along those lines, like Spyro, or
Mm.
whatever. But but you got to remember that like this is from a time when each video game like hardware company had their own mascot. So you have Mario, you have Sonic, and you have Crash. Who's the worst?
Crashing that. Well,
Say it
God,
with me.
hold up. I gotta think. It ain't Mario.
Clearly, it's
Sonic,
not
here's the
Mario.
thing. No, it's got to be
I'll
Crash.
just I'll just plead the fifth
It's got to be Crash
on that
because
list.
Sonic, whether his games have been hit and miss, but he's still been around all these
Hey, right, because Sonic is a beast. Like
years.
Sonic's attitude and his sneakers
Yeah.
and his squad.
What is his
Like, listen,
sneakers made
this
out
is how
of?
I know. Listen, this is how
That
right. I
fans and
don't
them
know.
Joes don't disintegrate.
They don't. Yeah, listen. Let me tell you something about Sonic and why Sonic is a beast, and then we're gonna get back to some Sony. But if you ask Bama's who Tails is, they know Sonic. Like Bama's know Tails. Like if you know Tails, like if your sidekick is known, like Crash don't even got no sidekick. Yeah, Crash weak. Hey, but it's cool though
You
because,
got the little mask. You got the little mask dude. I don't remember his name though.
and that's my point. See what I'm talking about? Like, isn't that my? That's my point. Like you come from the era of
Hey,
Crash Bandicoot, like you were little
yeah, I know Mario and
and
Luigi.
cared or something.
I was
I
gonna
don't
say I
know.
know Mario and Luigi. I know
Plus, them
Sonic and
games,
Tails. I know
right?
Ratchet and Clank. I
Yeah,
know
but you,
Jackson Daxter, but I don't know. I have no clue what Crash's little thing is.
yeah, Crash whack dog. Partially because he's a bandicoot. And what is a bandicoot?
Uh,
Exactly.
It's a bandicoot.
Exactly. It's a marsupial, which
a Bandicoot.
whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. Um yeah, I don't care about this at all. I understand there are people who care. By all means, if I've offended you by telling you how much I don't care, whatever. Leave it in the comments. That's fine. Shoot me an email.
Oh, not at all.
And
I'm still gonna get it.
okay. It's your money, dude. Do what you do. You're not gonna have fun with them though. They're not gonna be fun because they're not fun games. But check this out though. Power Rapper the Rapper remastered. Demo is available now. This is like the first American released like rhythm game. And I didn't understand it. But I know them songs. I know Kick Punch is all in the mind. And I'm excited about this, even though I know it's gonna be terrible.
Oh yeah.
I don't care about
I've
Loco
downloaded the demo.
Roco. That doesn't mean anything to me. Um, but the Gravity Rush 2 DLC looked dope. Raven
It
looked
did.
dope as a playable character in that. Uh, I don't really care about Gran Turismo Sport anymore. I'm kind of past it. Just bring it out. Nino Kuni 2 looks awesome.
It does.
Really want that. Nier Automata coming out March 7th. Definitely want that. Super excited about that. Neo from Team Ninja. I need another Ninja Gaiden game in my life. Please give me this joint. I'm excited for that. Here's what we don't need. Knack 2, young. Why is this happening?
About time.
I don't know
Why
because
is this
people ask
happening?
for it. I don't know.
Nah. Here's what I think.
Somebody had to ask for it
I
to
think
get it.
that
So
game. I think the game sold because it was all that there was when the PlayStation 4 came out,
Mm-hmm.
and so people bought it, and they didn't play it though. So, and here's what's absolutely disgusting about Knack 2 and the trailer that they showed for it. I could not tell you the difference between Knack 1's trailer and Knack. This game actually looked like, I'm gonna be honest with you, when they showed it, I thought they were showing the first Knack game again, but they remastered it and made it co-op because the joint looks exactly the same. Like it doesn't look like there's
Oh.
anything new happening in this joint at all. Like it literally looks like I honestly was watching it going, why are they showing this? And I thought this was gonna end and they were gonna go, Knack deserves a sequel. Here's what it is. This is what he can do now. This is what it looks like. This is how we're gonna harness the power of the PlayStation 4 Pro in 4K and make this, you know what I mean? Like, nah, dog. You get two Knacks. Knack 1 and Knack 2.
Nick and Knack.
And that's it. You get a blue Knack and a red Knack. You get a blood Knack and a Crip Knack. And
Craig Knack.
Crip Knack.
Uh,
And
no thank you on that.
that's it.
No thank you on
Yeah.
that too.
That was terrible. Terrible. Sorry, Mark Cerny. Love your work though, except for that. But let's talk about first of all, okay, Horizon Zero Dawn got a new trailer. It's cool. We got to see some different environments. I don't want to see anymore.
I'm with you 100%.
I just feel like
yeah,
Just
like
get it
just
out now.
we've seen enough.
the game's
You're starting to show the same
Yeah.
things over and over. We're done. Like just we all agree we want it. Just give it to us at this point.
yeah. It's coming in February. Just let me get it. Just let me
Yep.
get it and see what it's talking about.
Yep, that's it. That's it.
Marvel vs. Capcom 4.
Yeah.
Infinite.
So, the fourth Marvel vs. Capcom,
Yes.
now being called Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite instead of Marvel vs. Capcom 4. They showed a trailer, like a teaser trailer, at the show. During the Capcom Cup, they showed a gameplay trailer. So, we've all had a chance to see both, correct?
Yes, we have.
Yes.
All right, so let's start with the original trailer showing a PlayStation experience. You get to see Mega Man. That's my dude. You get to see Mega Man walk in. You see Iron Man. You see Ryu come to back up Mega Man, and they get to fighting, and you see Infinity Gems. Hence the name Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And there are a couple things about the name, and we'll get into that in a second. But like you literally see Ryu grab the purple gem and then become like evil Ryu.
Yep.
And there are moments, and as this fight is taking place, we get to see the reveal of Captain Marvel coming to aid Iron Man, which is awesome. Now, let's talk controversy for a minute, because the controversy has been, well, Marvel is putting this game out, but because of all of what's going on between Marvel and Fox and the X-Men franchise and blah, 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 there aren't going to be any X-Men in this game, which might not be true. There still might be X-Men in this game. However, the thought process is that this is going to heavily pull from the MCU and characters from there. And let's not forget that, like, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 had Rocket Raccoon in it
Yes, it did.
years ago. So I think this helps to kind of confirm, you know, I'm listening to people say stuff like, you can't have Marvel vs. Capcom without Wolverine. You can't have without Magneto. Like, they're staples. Sure you can. It doesn't really matter.
It's like,
You know,
you
look,
can do it. You definitely can do it.
and it will be just fine. Like, it's at this point, young, as much as I love the Berserker Barrage, get them out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, but still, like, the idea of having a game that has the size of a roster that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 had, on to 3 and just continuing to build on that and keep all the same, like it no longer, it doesn't make sense. You can't just keep adding people, and you can't just keep the same people there. So people upset because Storm's probably not going to be there, Magneto's probably not going to be there, Sentinel's probably not going to be there. Like, get over it. There will be new characters for you to use, and characters that have always been there. Captain America, War Machine, Iron Man, Hulk will all be there. They'll be there, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be okay. And adding characters like Star-Lord, Captain Marvel,
Winter Soldier, let's go.
Gamora, Groot, like Drax. You know what I mean? Like, just the Guardians of the Galaxy team alone could fill 5 roster slots with no issues. Not to mention, they got Spider-Man back. So keeping Spider-Man and Venom and what versions of Venom could show up
True.
in this.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? The Guardians of the Galaxy version of Venom. You know what I'm saying? Agent Venom, Mac Gargan Venom. Like, there's so much that has been happening. Then we have the Inhumans, which clearly take the place of the X-Men in the Marvel Universe now, as far as having powers and how they got them and why they have them. It is a brilliant idea that is just like the idea of the mutant X gene, and you just happen to get these powers when you hit adolescence or whatever, and nobody knows who's going to be one and who's not, and what it's going to turn you into or what you're going to end up looking like. So the idea that we could get characters from the Inhumans that have essentially the same powers and or abilities as a lot of the X characters have had, but are characters that are either coming in the future or currently existing in the comic books. There's so much that can be done with this that it's out of control. And the play on the name being that it's infinite, if you look at what they tried to do with Street Fighter V, which I hope they don't do this same thing with this, but the idea of having it just consistently where they just add more characters, and there's more DLC and they add more characters. Yeah, they can do it. Sure, they want to nickel and dime you, buy a season pass, and you'll get these characters eventually, whatever. But it also looks like, you're going to at least be tag teaming in this, right? Based on clearly from the
Based on
gameplay
the
trailer.
gameplay trailer, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be tag teaming in this. And I'm amped. Like, I'm so ready. So what do you guys think about all of this overall?
I'm ready for it.
My man.
It cannot get here fast enough. I've been
I mean, that's true.
needing a fighting. I've been having that fighting game itch lately. And I know we got Injustice 2 coming. Not too far away. Cool. That'll help. Big scratch. But get another Marvel's Capcom Infinite. Yeah, and the potential, like you said, of man, Ant-Man and Winter Soldier and Falcon and all these new people they can add into it. I wonder what Capcom gonna come with on that end. Because Marvel side
Yeah, and
has a
that
chance to be lit.
Yeah.
So Capcom gonna have some work to do. And I don't really, it doesn't bother me about the X-Men not being in it. Like, I do like I personally prefer, like, you can keep adding characters and not take anybody out, because you always take out somebody's favorite character. But this is a different story
Right.
with the whole licensing thing, and it just is what it is. Fox don't want to play ball. X-Men are gone. We've accepted it, and it just is what it is. All these characters are going to be wiped out and gone. Just deal with it at this point. Stop crying about it. And like you said, find some new people to use. It's not that complicated.
And yeah, like, to me, like, the idea that, all these people who are like professional, fighting game players who play in the Evo every year, their characters are going to be gone. You're a professional fighting game player. If you're actually a professional, find a new character and play on.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And if you're a professional, you probably should have more than one character.
well, that's my
go.
point.
Play.
Not to mention the fact that this new game is coming does not take away the fact that the old game still exists.
That's what I was about to say.
So go play the old one.
Yep, you still got 2 and 3 to play with. There you go.
Yeah, go play
Matter
the
of
old
fact,
one.
they just
Look,
put
man,
it on the PS4. There you go. Only first console
when you
for you.
have like 50 characters though, you can't just keep adding characters. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just gets, at some point it gets overwhelming and it just becomes too much. You know what I mean? So, like, you kind of have to go back to basics to an extent. And That's the reason why we had so much trouble getting Capcom to leave Street Fighter 2 alone and move on to Street Fighter 3. Excuse me, because 2 they just kept making it faster or changing options or doing an update or you know what I'm saying or whatever and then adding new characters and it was the new challengers and that like just okay, but let's get a part 3. Let's get some new people in here. Let's lose some people and let's you know what I mean like
Mm-hmm.
let's work some things out. You know what I mean? And whatever characters work, they work and whatever ones don't, they don't.
And you know one thing, I'm Ja looking forward with this Infinite. Like
What's up?
Marvel, I mean not Marvel, I'm sorry, but Marvel did a good Capcom did a good job with the last one as far as like push this button, you get the different outfits and you know what I'm saying that they've had. Like you had the different versions of like Steve Rogers and Captain America, you know, all that type of stuff.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to all the different outfits they're gonna put in for the Marvel characters. Because they've been rocking with Street Fighter
Yeah.
Five, even though they be charging you like $4 an outfit. But
Right,
consistent
which
with,
is
you know, right. But consistent with putting them out there at least. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I'm
Here's
in,
here's what I need. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I need from this game. So I need the ability to play online co-op against the computer.
Hmm.
I
and
need
you
to
know
be able
what's
to
sad?
play.
Even though it's 2016 going to 17, we know that's a hard bill to ask, even though it's so simple to do.
It's got to be. Like, why is that a problem? Why is it that in 2017, which is when
Yeah,
this game's gonna
yeah,
come out,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, why at this point is it hard for me to be able to like if you give me a game that is designed for two people to be able to play on the same team. You did this for me on some co-op in Street Fighter Alpha in the Dream Fight with Ryu and Ken.
Hey,
Why can't I get online with Sin or New Joker, pick the character I want, we tag team up and play through the arcade game? Why can't we play through it and get an ending? Like they need to do
I
that.
don't get it.
That's one of the
I
first
don't
things
get it.
that needs to
I'm
happen.
with you.
Two,
I'm with you.
they need to not piecemeal this the way they did Street Fighter 5. Hopefully they learn from that mistake and they won't do that again. 3. Clearly they have learned from the mistake that was this is going to be a PlayStation exclusive because this game is not. This game is coming to Xbox One, which is they needed to do that. Um, this is the kind of game that needs to be everywhere for a company like Capcom to be able to monetize it properly and to keep it alive properly. Because given the what appears to be the business model that Capcom is going for with these games, where again, you know, we kind of asked for this. We had issues with Capcom when they put out, I guess it was Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and there
Nah,
were characters
it
that
was
were on the
it
disc.
was Street Fighter versus
Street Fighter
yeah.
4.
No, wasn't it Street Fighter Cross Tekken?
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Well, I don't know. Either way, it might. I don't know. I can't remember now. Either way, the point is there were people who were upset because there were characters that were on the disc already, but they were only unlockable if you paid for the DLC. And
Hmm.
people felt like, well, you put them on the disc, so they're obviously ready to go. We've already paid for the game. You're cheating us out of content that you created. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I understand Capcom's point of view being, okay, well, we did it that way so that when you go to pay to unlock it, it's not taking up additional space on your hard drive or whatever. Which, come on, one character is not taking up so much space, but whatever. Nonetheless, they said, okay, we won't do that again. From now on, we'll just do it. And I mean, you have no way of knowing whether or not the characters are ready to go or not. You know what I mean? So it's like it doesn't really matter. Um, but obviously, that's the business model that they've been looking for and looking forward to and trying to find a way to, monetize for years now. So, that being the case, that's cool. Give me the characters, give me teams, give me setups, give me colors, give me outfits, give me all that. Put it in a package. Let me buy a season pass. Let's be done with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just
Hmm.
$100, fine, because I know that's what's gonna end up running anyway. $100. Let's
Mm-hmm.
do it. Let's call it a day. Let me get everything. You know what I mean? Until you decide you're doing like a season 2 or whatever. And I feel like the idea of it being infinite means that somehow they've managed to develop develop a relationship with Marvel that says, as new movies release and new characters are introduced, we want to introduce these characters into this world, into this game. And so this game will continue to grow as new things happen.
Okay,
But don't
so
just give me new characters.
they're taking
Give
at
me new
least some
stages.
aspect of the what's the name 5 model, like Street Fighter 5 model, where you buy this one and you don't have to go buy another one. You don't have to go buy the ultimate hyper
This
version
right.
of it later down the
Yeah, I
line.
mean,
Right? You just get the one and just keep. They'll just keep putting out stuff for it and evolving in updates and patches and all that kind of stuff.
right. I mean, I guess I put it to you this way. Clearly, it's usually somewhere between 5 and 10 years between Marvel versus Capcom games. So obviously, this is a game that is going to have legs,
Mm-hmm.
right? But we also know that Marvel has a plan for the Infinity Gauntlet series of the MCU that runs at least through 2020, 2021.
Exactly why you're
Which
seeing them
means
Infinity
that
Stones in it. Yep.
for the next 4 to 5 years, and again, not the first time we've seen Infinity Stones in a game from Capcom that's fighting.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So Marvel superheroes definitely had that. So the idea of, as we continue to develop, as we continue to add new characters, as we continue to see the MCU happen, that I don't just need new clothes and characters. I need new stages. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want the full on, like, okay, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is coming out. Give me the Guardians of the Galaxy 2-pack. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
pretty sure it will, because
And
Street Fighter 5 does that now. I'm thinking they're gonna take
yeah, but they don't
aspects.
have. I get it. I'm just saying, like, Street Fighter doesn't have like an outside source to pull from.
No, I feel
so to
you. I
speak.
feel you. I just see. Well, I know since Capcom is making it, and just seeing like the approach they've taken with 5, where you can they'll update new stages and new characters and new outfits and new
Right.
colors. Like, I'm hoping they take, like I said, some of what they did with 5 and implement it into this, like that type of stuff, where they can constantly
Just
update the store with
yeah,
that
just
type
do
of
it
stuff
better.
exactly, just to keep the game fresh over time.
Yeah, just do it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I need from this game. I'm excited about it. I want it. I'm happy. Seeing Captain Marvel sold it. I'm like, yeah, we don't really need Phoenix.
Yep.
We don't need Phoenix.
Did it for me.
We got Captain Marvel. Why do we need Phoenix? Go ahead, put Medusa in that joint. Go ahead, get Black Bolt in there. You know what I mean? Like, let me get some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Let me get Quake. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me have Coulson as a sidekick show up and, you know what I'm saying, ice somebody or whatever. Let me get some Agent Melinda May showing up, doing a little something. Like, there's so much they can pull from. There's so much they can do. All you got to do is look at the roster on any of the Lego Marvel games.
You ain't lying.
And it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap. Like, if you look at that Lego Avengers roster, there are so many characters to pull from that would be absolutely awesome in a fighting game like this. And I need this to be successful so we can get that Tekken Cross Street Fighter.
If it ever
This joint needs to win.
if it ever comes to light.
It needs to win. So, anyway, that pretty much wraps that up, gentlemen. Look, the only other thing I want to do is talk about this Guardians 2 second trailer we just got, the second teaser. Bruh, I'm ready for this joint. Like, I'm so ready for this.
That joint had me so amped just now before I came upstairs to record this.
Listen, can I tell you
Like,
that?
don't push that button.
Oh, I was laughing so hard watching that joint.
Listen to me,
gosh.
how. Okay, look. I was full-fledgedly expecting for Groot to be grown again when the second movie came around. Like, I didn't expect but I think the popularity of Baby Groot was so high, they were like, we got to keep him as Baby Groot.
Yeah.
You got to keep him.
We got to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like that's, you know what I mean? Like, why else would you do that?
He is selling it in
I
the
think
trailer.
that joint is going to work.
He is selling it in the
Right
trailer.
now, he is
Absolutely.
He is winning. But listen
Yes.
to me when I say that when my man Star-Lord gets put on blast
Oh my
about being
gosh.
in love with Gamora,
Oh my God.
and this dude Dax the Destroyer is like, oh, you must be so embarrassed. Do me. Do me. Hey, dog. Listen to me when
Oh,
I say,
that's one of the best trailers I've seen in a long time. That thing was so good.
bruh,
Oh,
for a teaser, Marvel is on it right now, bruh.
oh my
Like
gosh.
I'm so ready for this. I'm so ready for this.
That trailer's
I
winning
don't
right
even
now.
know if Baby Groot. Baby Groot is going to be the hottest selling thing,
Oh my god. Next year? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yes.
bruh.
Oh.
T-shirts. I mean, dancing Baby Groots were already a big deal.
Yep.
Now this Brammer can actually say "I am Groot" with the little cute voice.
Yep.
And pardon me, but blow shit up. I just remember say, you have a nuclear bomb in your backpack. You're the only one who's gonna have tape, bruh. I need this. I need this.
Oh,
Yeah, that joint's gonna be
yes.
absolutely awesome. I'm so ready
Can't
for
get
that.
in
I
quick
don't know what to
enough.
do.
Oh.
Speaking of which, Star Wars next week.
Yep.
Oh god, it is.
Ready for that too. And then Assassin's Creed the week after that. And I'm
Yes,
ready
it
for that
is.
too. So it's gonna be a busy next couple of weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Rippy Awards coming up on December 8th, Brooklyn, New York. Highly plan to be in attendance there. If you're in Brooklyn, you should shoot by. Check out our Facebook page. We'll have posts for exactly how you can come out and be a part of that. Tickets are only $10. That's gonna be pretty awesome. Make sure you guys are checking us out on ripradionetwork.com every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. We have a half-hour show video that airs there to complement what we do on YouTube already and what you see on Facebook already. Sin is not necessarily the kind of person you want to send emails to, but if you wanted to send an email to somebody like Sin,
Somebody
you
like
would send it to
myself.
sin.loadingsnacks at gmail.com. Tell the folks
Yeah,
how they can
sure.
get a hold of you on social media, sir.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if y'all want to hit me up on Instagram or Twitter as well, you can hit me up at Sincere619. Also, if you want to game with me on Xbox Live, same thing. You want to get with me on Snapchat or the PlayStation Network, same thing. Just replace that I with an L, and you'll find me right there.
Matter of fact, let me speak on that for a second. Whoever it is that has Sin's name,
Somebody to come up off that jump, please.
let it go.
Yes,
Think it's
somebody just
time to
come up
let
Get
off
it
up,
that,
go
please.
now.
get up off that thing
Please, I'd
and
really
shake
appreciate
till
it,
you
bro.
feel better.
I'd really appreciate it.
A new Joker might be the kind of person you want to send email to. He's newjoker.loadingsnacks. That's NUJOKER .loadingsnacks at gmail.com. He got this thing going on Facebook called New Joker's Adventures. You should check that out. But let them know how they can get a hold of you on social media, sir.
Oh yeah. So if you guys want to get at me, Instagram, Twitter, also on those gaming consoles, make it very simple for you. It's New Joker 89. NUJOKER
Tell
89.
them what the 89 for, sir. Tell them what the 89 for.
Oh, that's the year I was born.
Oh, so terrible. So listen, if you would like to email me, you can do so at Gage, GAGE.loadingsnacks at gmail.com. You can email the group, the bunch of us, the guys of us, the crew of us, loadingsnacks at gmail.com. And you can reach me on social media. I'm Empty Shells, MTSHELLZ. If you search me on Xbox Live, you can find the same thing. It's just a space between the M, the T, and the S. But just remember it's a Z at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening. I appreciate you tuning in on wherever it is, whether it's Stitcher or iHeartRadio or iTunes or Windows Phone, some of us.
Few of us.
Hey, listen, relax. By all means, continue to do so. Leave us a comment. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you shoot over and check us out on YouTube. We're youtube.com/loadingsnackscrew, where we have a tendency to shoot videos where we taste things that sometimes are good and sometimes aren't, and declare whether they're loading snacks or not. We had some nasty M&Ms yesterday. Yeah, by all means, check us out there. And please, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. With that, we are out. I am sick. I'm going back to sleep after I play a little Watch Dogs. Toodles and loos.